Focusing on rethinking tourism strategy, Gulf Travel Show presents an exclusive interview with Nepal Tourism.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Depends on which part of the world you are at this moment and when you're seeing this episode. I just want to welcome all of you, and I want to mention to you, you know what's happening in the world. This COVID and the pandemic has really created a huge problem for all of us. It is like what I say is like a world war. It is all over the world, and every country is trying to save their citizens. So that's what everybody's trying to do. And with this, the other sad part is this has actually brought the most many of the industries into a crisis, into a tailspin. And tourism, if I can say, has really come down on its knees. Everywhere in the world, you know, the airlines have stopped, the hotels are empty, so the travel has totally stopped. And what we're trying to look at is we all waiting for the vaccine. When it's going to come out, what's going to happen, one does not know. And we all are trying to guess, and we all try to look at the crystal ball and say, okay, guys, this is what will happen, but we do not know. So what we do is actually what we are doing at the moment at the Gulf Travel Show is we are now going out to the sharpest minds in the industry and asking them what they think is going to happen and what they are doing to protect their citizens and what they are trying to do to protect the travel and tourism people who come to them. One such extremely knowledgeable person I like to introduce to you now, that is Dr. Dhananjay Regmi. He is a PhD, a doctorate in mountain environment, geoscience, and geoecology from the Hokkaido University in Japan. He completed his postdoctorate training in climate change from the Arizona University in USA. Mr. Regmi previously worked as a professor in the Central Department of Geography and Environment Science at the Tribhuvan University. He is the vice chair of the Nepal Geographical Society. In other words, if I can safely say, he's devoted his entire life to understanding the problems of the mountain people and finding solutions for better livelihood for them. In other words, directly, indirectly, he's devoted his life to promote sustainable tourism in Nepal. And today, the buzzword is sustainable and environment we talk about. So we have the right man talking to you. Of course, he is the CEO of Nepal Tourism Board, and we will be talking to him today. We're going to discuss with him and ask him, as an environmentalist or as a person, what does he think what's happening with the travel and this industry at the moment. Before I come to you, sir, welcome, sir. I like to welcome you today. And before I move ahead and we discuss Nepal, I thought I'll ask you, my first question would be, with your opening remarks, what would you like to tell us about what is happening globally with this pandemic? What do you see it? What do you see when the solution is, and how we are going to come out of it? Sir.
Sanjay, thank you for this opportunity to put my views in such a big platform. And talk about a lot about me, but I think the pandemic that is going on, I think even an environmentalist or being whatever I have spent in my whole life, I haven't seen this, and I haven't presumed that this sort of things will happen, and we have to tackle with this in this situation. So the pandemic, it comes the day I became the CEO of Nepal Tourism Board. It was the day when I had the first meeting about the COVID. And since then, my tenure is within this COVID. We are trying to identify what we can do. Globally, actually, this is for the whole globe, this is completely a new. And we all are looking for a new, like a new information, new knowledge, how to handle this pandemic. The same situation here, but we are doing is, Nepal, it's a small country. We don't have a much population, a big population. So the spread happened little later if you compare with the rest of the world. Initially, we were very safe, but now the number of cases are increasing. But we got a chance to see what the other world is doing, how they are handling the situation. And we have learned a lot of lessons from them, and we try to implement that in the Nepal. So, so far, Nepal if you look at our inbound and the number of the visits that's going abroad for the travel from Nepal is almost same. We have 1.2 million international tourists who visited Nepal in the past, and almost same number of Nepali people used to visit abroad for the tourism. So if we don't have no tourism, like no international tourism, then also what we really think that if we focus on the domestic tourism, we are going to survive. At least we can survive, even if we cannot completely revive, but for the survival, if we promote the domestic tourism, that is going to help. This is what. And for the first time, we realized that we need to focus as the rest of the world. They said that their economy is contributed almost like 6 times more by the domestic tourism than the international tourism. But in Nepal, we never have that data. But looking at the number of outbound tourists from Nepal, what we can say that, okay, we can survive. So this is the first thing that we have, and from there we started. We said that let's promote the domestic tourism first, or let's try to focus on the domestic tourism. This is the one what we are doing. And second, we learned that the world was thinking about how to start. People were confused, and Nepal, we from the beginning we know that we need to come up with the clear protocols how to start the tourism during this pandemic. So I think around 6 or 7 countries who come up with our protocols, and we were quite ahead of the rest of the world. So, which was also really good. And Nepal's situation is completely different because Nepal was a destination for the climbers, for the trekkers mostly, and only the mass tourism is focused in the religious places or some in the national park areas in the south, or some of the destinations like Pokhara. Otherwise, most of the places people are focusing mostly on the adventure tourism in Nepal. So we need to have a different type of protocols than what the rest of the world was doing. So what we did, we come up with the protocols that address the different type of activities. For the climbing different, for trekking, then the buses, for rafting, for all sort of tourism activities, we come up with the different protocols. And later we realized that for in the mountains, especially to run these mountain lodges, we need the more specific and kind of a protocol. So we have worked with the international organizations like IFC, and we take the expertise from the different international organizations, and we come up with another protocol with the especially focusing on the mountain, because we realize that, and whatever these webinars came up with, or whatever the informations we have received from the rest of the world or the experts from the world, we've found that everybody was focusing that the future is in a country like Nepal. The future of tourism is a country like Nepal, who have a lot of wilderness areas where people can travel alone. And so we need to focus on a very special protocol for that. And so we have developed that. So that is one. And now there are many countries who haven't opened the ISPA also, but we again develop a new protocols for the to open the ISPA, and then very soon we are going to open even that sector. So we are open. And another thing that we said that, okay, if we just open whole Nepal at a time, then might be it will give a wrong message to the world that we are not very much concerned about their health. So what we did, we first started the climbing, and then we opened the trekking together from October 1st, and we started to see that if we really can take care of them or not. So even during this lockdown period, or the when airlines were closed, we have allowed some of the VIP climbing trips, especially the Prince of the Bahrain. So he visited Nepal, he climbed 2 of the peaks, and then Luche and Manaslu, and they successfully climbed it. And then that gives a very positive message that Nepal is ready for the climbing, and Nepal can take care of their clients. So this is what the first positive message we gave. Then all of a sudden, then another people from the Gulf countries, Qatar, a prince from the Qatar also, now he is in Nepal and he visited, and there are a number of new inquiries are coming on. So this shows that the way we are working in the mountains, we are really successfully delivering the message that Nepal is safe for the climbing and the trekking activities. This is what we done in the first part. And encouraging from that input or that feedback from the industry and the rest of the world. Now what we did, we put a proposal to the government to start the rest of the tourism activities as well. So we are very much prepared ourselves with the protocols, and our protocols are not only limited within the books or the in the papers. We have given hundreds of trainings, and we have involved the associations mostly in this part, and with the support of the different type of associations that are related to the tourism, we are giving a number of trainings, and in this training part we are also taking a support from the international organizations. So this is how we are working together, and yeah, this is how we are moving forward.
In fact, I could not agree with you more, because you are sitting in a beautiful position, because you have less population, and then you have the mountain, the environment next to you. You couldn't have got a better COVID, no experience with no COVID kind of situation for the world. And you mentioned that you have the two royalties who came and stayed. I actually did the climb with you and all that. But my question next to you would be, sir, uh, all this which you have been doing and all that, has it gone down to the common man in let's say in the Middle East? Because a lot of people keep asking about where they should go for their vacation now, especially nowadays, because the problem of travel is also there. So they are looking at new destinations to travel. Does the travel agent locally over there in the Middle East and UAE, maybe in Bahrain or Kuwait or Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Oman and all that, have information about Nepal and what you steps you have taken to get them over here?
Yeah, Sanjay ji, see, this is the year when we were celebrating the Visit Nepal 2020, and when this COVID pandemic started from the China, immediately we realized that the almost 0.4 million tourists that we expected from from China were never going to come to Nepal. So that was the point. It was in January, February. Sometimes we said that no, this is a time we need to start to focus on the Middle East, because Nepal is well connected with the Middle East countries from different airlines, Nepal National Airlines as well as Qatar Airlines, other Gulf Airways, and this and that. So we have a very good connectivity, and that market we have always in the past we have a long history, very good relations, but we had relations of the labor supply only from the especially people going there for the different sort of job, but we never focused that we have a potentiality of bringing the people from the Gulf to Nepal to show the beauty of Nepal, the nature of Nepal. So after seeing this COVID in China, for the first time, minister from the media and NTV, we for the first time we focused that okay, we need to focus on the Gulf, and we have make a task force, and we come up with the different of ideas how to promote Nepal in the Middle East. So this is the time I think we have for the first time we think so seriously. Then we have invited the NTV invited the number of people who are living there as a non-residential Nepalese, and we have taken a number of feedback from them that how we can promote Nepal, how we can make people to visit. And there were many things like people really don't know about the Nepal. So we said that we need to make a number of videos giving them. And concern was, do Nepal have a halal food, or do Nepal respects the all the religions, or it's because Nepal has a kind of a Hindu nation kind of a introduction to all. So we need to change many of things, because we respect all the religions, and even in the center of the city we have the mosque. We even have a prayer rooms in the airport, and we decided okay, this is the information that first we need to give to the Middle East countries. This is what the first. And second, we were thinking about the number of communities who are living there, and they are from the, and they are the second focus, and how to focus on them. So that is also what we were thinking. And then we say that okay, for the people who are living in the Middle East, we have everything what they don't have there. They have desert, we have mountains. We have forest, they don't have forest. We have beautiful river system from high to the lowland, and they don't have that. So we have so much things that we can offer to them, and I think wherever they go in the world, they never find such a beautiful things. For the winter also, Nepal can be a one better attractions or the place of visit for them, because whole Europe, when it is frozen, it's cold. At that time, the mid hills of the Nepals can be a one major attractions for them, because mid hills they in the mid hills above 1500-meter or below 2000-meter sometime, or maybe sometimes above 1000-meter to 2000-meter are the these mid hill ranges are the places where you can receive a very good sunlight even during the winter from morning to evening. So this can be a destinations for the during the winter, and even during the summer as well. So we were thinking that, or we can say the year-round destination. So the only problem is we need to convince that Nepal is a right destination for the people who are living in the Middle East. So that is what we realized, and we have make a task force, and we started to work on that. And now we have already from each country we have make a kind of a group who are working there for a long time, who have a knowledge of the culture, and who have a good good social platforms where they can talk about the Nepal. So we already unite all of them together, and we are looking forward to work more intensively in the days in the coming days. So Nepal also realized it recently, though it's a very big market, but we never focused on. Maybe Nepal was very happy with what we were receiving in the past, and we were more focusing on the long haul destinations. We are focusing doing more marketing in America, Europe, but we were less focusing on India, China, or in the Middle East, which are really and which really have a lot of potentiality. So this is the time that we realize that people from the Gulf, they really love, the rich people, they really love the mountains. This is what the number of inquiries from one after another royal families, that gives us a lot of energy, like, okay, this is a new market. And this market is something which is like a high-end market. You don't have to sell a very cheap packages. You can go with the very high standard services, and you can charge them better and can give the better services. So the only thing is we need to give we need to assure them that we are really ready to give the best services for them, because they are looking for the quality of the services. So now we are to focus on the quality of our services as well, and this COVID pandemic, this give a chance to improve our services quality of the services that we had in the past. So we are trying to improve in all that part, and obviously we think that we haven't focused in the past, but it's going to be one major destination or the major market of Nepal in the days to come.
No, you're absolutely right, sir. In fact, people in the Middle East do follow the royalties. So if they're going to a particular destination, they will obviously follow that. But my immediate question, which comes to my mind, Aji, is that I understand you're doing a lot of things to assure people, but the first question which every traveler wants to know is, suppose I come to Nepal and I get COVID positive, God forbid, something happens, then what happens? Would you put me, quarantine me in which place? Would it be in a hotel? Would it be, or do you have some other hotels which are for COVID compliance people, or how does it really work? What should they expect when they're there?
Yeah, well, so initially, yeah. So we also changed the idea in recently. First, we focused on the hospitals. We said that people have to come up with the COVID insurance. We have made some rules, clear rules, like people who want to visit Nepal, they have to come with the 72-hour prior COVID test, PCR test report, and then they have to stay for 7 days in a quarantine, and they will get again another PCR test, and if they are negative, they can travel within the Nepal. But now we realize that the number of cases, as the number of cases are increasing, there are the chances that the people can get COVID even after coming to Nepal also. So in that case, what we do, because we have a good medical facilities if we compare it with our neighboring countries, but even after that, with the increased number of the cases, we might need to have a very special care for the tourist. For that, now the Nepal Tourism Board is working together with the Hotel Association of Nepal, and we try to tie up the hotels and these hospitals, so that some of the hotels which are closed for a long time, they can be changed into a COVID care center, and that will focus to give services mostly, especially to the tourists. In Pashupati Nath area, we already started one. And now there are many other hotels who are come up with the same ideas, and they are trying to tie up themselves with the hospitals and clinics, where so the concept is that these, whichever the hotel will tie up with whichever hospital, the hospital is supposed to give all the services and the facilities to the tourists, and they have to invest on that. So there is something, there are some legal issues, there are some type of assurance issues with the hospitals, because they have to invest a lot, get all these hotels equipped with the required equipments. But there are equally chances that the government might change their rules immediately, and they might be in a their investment might be in a problem. So we are trying to get it approved by the all level of the ministry, even from the Ministry of Health, so that there shouldn't be any problem, and this concept can be more promoted in Nepal. We are very sure that with the time, the number of cases will increase. Even though the vaccine, we in the news that the vaccines are now available, but when will they arrive to Nepal? It's another question, and at what number it will be available. And so before that, even it might take a 1 year to reach to the public, or the 2 year, but by then we cannot just open Nepal without taking care of the foreigners or tourists. So what we just started is the COVID care center. This is moving very fast, and the industry is very much positive about this. Nepal Tourism Board is also in its favor, and we are trying to get the approval from the our ministry. Especially the tourism ministry is also very positive, but we need to get it approved from the health ministry, which will happen very soon, I think. But at present, whoever are getting sick, we have already allocated some hospitals, special beds for the foreigners, and we are taking care of them right now.
But sir, this brings me obviously to the next obvious question, which people want to know, is that the hotels are there, the taxis are there, the cars are there. So everybody wants safety, and they all say that the hotel will say, "I'm actually COVID compliant. I'm actually safe." The buses, but they're looking for some assurance. Would you, as a tourism board, have given some clearances to some of the hotels or the taxis and buses that these are COVID compliant, and then they could work with this? Or how does this? How does one go ahead with this?
Yeah, well, especially for the tourists, we have allocated a different bus. Those buses are the in Nepal. We provide a green plate buses for the tourists. Green plate buses, they have to follow the protocols that we have especially prepared for them. So they are really following the protocols, and they started to run. Though the number of the tourists after we opened from the October 1st, number of tourists is not that much, but it is not zero. We have almost 100 people took the climbing permits, and around 200 people have applied for the trekking permit. So which is a kind of a very good message at the first phase. So because still people don't know if Nepal is safe or not. But this 100 200 people, when they start to write, when the message will go out, when the message will spread, obviously the number of tourists will increase. And we have at every level, as I told in the beginning, we have developed the protocols, and we have given the training also. But obviously the cost is a little bit raised because of the protocols that all these service provider have to follow. So cost wise, it's get little bit expensive, but no doubt we are taking care of the health, and we are making the industry to move following the protocols and to keep the people safe.
I understand that totally, because I think this is going to be a global phenomena. But my last question, or my second last question to you would be, sir, what do you expect? Let me be honest. If you, since you're sitting as the boss, what do you expect from the Gulf market, and what is the expectations from the world? What kind of numbers are you, like, for example, what kind of people are you expecting? Are they going to be only people who are going to go for mountaineering and trekking and all that, or are you looking for leisure travelers, especially from the Gulf? What is your take on that, sir?
So, in Gulf, as our understanding is that from Gulf we can expect a type of tourists. One, the local people who are living there, and then another is the people who are there for the job from the different countries, who represents, who love, who have a different sort of interest. So, for the people who born there, who grown up there, who are living there, for them, the mountains might be the one of the major attractions, or walking along the jungles in the hilly regions or in the mountains, trekking, that can be the one of the major attractions. And for the other people, they might have sometimes the religious choices, they might have sometimes like the Buddhism sort of, sometimes people might have these national parks can be their one interest. Another is like the UNESCO heritage site can be there another interest. So based on the interest of the people who are working there, we have a variety of things that we can offer. So the major problem, what we have, the major mistake that what Nepal did in the past was we never saw what we really have. Nepal initially started as a climbing destination, and then we focused on these trekking destinations, and whole throughout this last 40, 50, 60 years we are promoting, okay, Nepal is there is a Sagarmatha, and there is Sagarmatha, there is a trekking. We are promoting the only thing that make Nepal a seasonal destination, whereas Nepal is a very highly rich in different things. We have a very high different type of culture. We have a religious diversity. We have a natural diversity. There's so many things that we never offered to the world. We never try to show this to the people. So slowly, this is the time that we need to tell the people. We need to come up with the digital promotion, or we need to show what we really have. Because even if you talk with anyone in any part of the world, if you say that you are from Nepal, they say, oh, have you been to the Everest? So this is the first question came. They never say that, oh, you are a very highly culturally diversified country or this. If I go to the India, people say about the mountain of the Pashupatinath. So is the Pashupatinath and the Everest is the only thing, or we can offer more? So the thing is that we the Nepali people, we are tourism entrepreneurs. We also have done a lot of mistakes in the past. We haven't focused on the diversity of the Nepal. We never to show the different things that Nepal can offer to the world. So from a country where you have a altitudinal difference from 60 meters to top of world, so you can see what sort of changes. The climate is changed. What temperature you prefer? We have every temperature ranges where you can go and enjoy. What sort of vegetation you wanna see? From shal forest to the alpine vegetations, you have that. Even top the lichens also. What sort of topography you want to see? We have a plain, we have a small hills, middle hills, and the high mountains, and even the rain shadow areas, which are the driest part or the high altitude deserts we have. So we have everything that and the different type of mammals, flora, fauna, everything is there, and you can see the rivers with the different grids, where you can enjoy that different type of adventurous activities. You have mountains for the best cycling or the bike riders. There are the more than 1,500 glacial lakes. Out of them, 400-500 glacial lakes can be used for the ice skating during the winters. So we never focused on all these variety of things that Nepal can offer to the community, and this is what my focus is now on this. After being a leader of the tourism industry at present, I'm trying to focus on the show more and more potentiality of Nepal, possibilities of tourism product of Nepal to the rest of the world. so that the future will be different.
So what you're in a way, what I understand, and I think this is brilliant. So after the pandemic, we'll have people talk about a new normal. Going to talk about a new Nepal, which is full of diversity and people to look at it differently. I think this is going to be wonderful, and we will all look forward to the so-called new Nepal. My last question, sir, before I let you go, would be. What is your as an expert and as an opinion leader, what do you think so is going to be, when will this whole pandemic thing die down, when can we get to normal, or will this be, what's your thought about that? Yeah, I know it may be
See,
a.
first I was thinking that no, it's a really a difficult question to everyone, and everyone try to give the answer of this. But my from the beginning when it started, I said that let's make the protocol, let's follow it. But even we follow, ultimately either we want or not, we will get suffered from the COVID-19, and ultimately a day will come, we need to learn to live with COVID. And this is what me myself and our minister, we always say. And unfortunately we both got the COVID, and I'm also at the recovery stage, and my minister, he already got recovered. So what we realized that once you get it, now I realize that people are saying sometimes, are we really extrapolating the result? Because I did much impact. I am feeling good, but I cannot go because still I'm negative to the work. I'm working from home. So but the thing is, what I realize is that ultimately either you want or not, it will be spread out. And if the vaccine comes, and maybe it will just go on. Otherwise it is something like the malaria in the past or the plague. You can stop. Either there are only two things will happen. See, either we have to start to live with the COVID, move forward, or we have to ready to be die with the hunger. Ultimately, if people will not work, what will happen? How long the existing food will support, and how people are really all people who are doing the government job, they are looking at the excuse not to go to the office. And the people who really want to work, stopped showing the number of threats. So what I do say is like there is no other option. Just we need to learn to live with the COVID and move forward. And let's wait vaccines. If it comes, it's okay. If not, who knows the success rate? Nobody knows. Some scientific papers are saying that it's 95% success, this and that. Whatever it is, because we haven't get it, and we don't know when we are going to get it. But we cannot make people to die because of the hunger. So we need to move forward. We need to work. And if international tourism is not possible, at least this is the time we should promote the domestic tourism and move forward. We should not say that once everything will be okay, when all COVID will be gone, then we will move forward. No, that is wrong. Maybe at that time there will be another problem that will be much more bigger than COVID-19. So we should be ready for the all sort of pandemic that can come in the future, and we with the strength we should move forward.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, just a minute. Friends, you just heard, I told you we're going to discuss with the sharpest mind in the industry. And to add to that, Dr. Dhananjay Regmi is after a doctorate. So he is a PhD specialist. So we have heard something from him which is unique in his own way, well, he does believe that we have to work together, and we all have to continue working. We have to fight it in a different format, which I agree. And the good part which we heard about today was about Nepal, that Nepal, we look forward to a new Nepal, which is going to be 365 days a year. And you can go and come in the winter, you can come in the summer, you can come anytime you want to. So that's the new excitement. And if the royalty already has already been to Nepal, and that's what they've done, I think we need to follow in their footsteps and reach that destination and see what all it has for us. And it's doing its best to really promote the destination in a beautiful way. Sir, I really want to thank you very much. You have really expressed and put the whole gamut of Nepal on a total different footage. We really appreciate that, and we appreciate your thoughts on this. Thank you very much.